Hi, Guadalupe first graders. This is Mrs. Maldonado. I have a guided reading lesson that I would like to share with you, and also a sight word game and a math lesson. So please join me. Okay, so for guided reading today, we have a book titled I Think I Need a Pet. So that book is written by Pamela Chanko and it's illustrated by Kelly Kennedy. We're going to the zoo today, said Daddy. Good, I said. I think I need a pet. The zoo will be a good place to find one. Daddy thought I was wrong. First, we saw the lions. A fierce lion could scare away the monsters under my bed. I think I need a pet lion, I said. But Daddy thought I was wrong. What do you think, boys and girls? Do you think a lion would be a good pet? I think Daddy might be right. I don't think a lion would be a good pet. All right, boys and girls. So I also wanted to point out to you our vocabulary words. So each vocabulary word is going to be in bold print. So if you see the word fierce right here where the cursor's moving, that is our vocabulary word for today, boys and girls. And you will also see that vocabulary word in a yellow box. It gives us the definition of the word fierce. So fierce means strong and dangerous. So that's what the lions are. That's a characteristic of a lion. They're fierce and they're strong and dangerous. Okay, next we saw the elephants. That elephant's trunk could help me water the plants. I think I need a pet elephant, I said. But Daddy thought I was wrong. Then we saw the zebras. I could ride a zebra to school. It would gallop fast and get me there on time. I think I need a pet zebra, I said. But Daddy thought I was wrong. So what do you think, boys and girls? How do you think it would be if you had a pet elephant? Where could you put it? Elephants are humongous. And what do you think about having a zebra take you to school? That would be pretty cool, I think, but do you think that would be possible? Well, we'll wait and see. Well, let's take a look at our vocabulary words. We have trunk for elephants. So what does trunk mean? Well, it means that it's the long nose of an elephant. Okay, so the long nose of that an elephant has, it's called a trunk. Okay, and our vocabulary word over here in the page with the zebras is gallop. So gallop means to run very fast like a horse. And if you see the thinking bubble up here at the top, she's thinking about, what it would look like. She's imagining herself in the zebra taking her to school. And the zebra is galloping. Okay, the same thing goes with the picture on the illustration of the elephant. You see she's riding the elephant and the elephant is watering the plants with its trunk. Okay, so that's what she wanted the elephant for. Okay, the other one, boys and girls, it says next we saw the hippos. A humongous hippo could help me finish my dinner when I'm too full. I think I need a pet hippo, I said, but Daddy thought I was wrong. So what do you think, boys and girls, if you would give the hippo your food when you were full? Do you think a hippo would fit inside your house? Hippos are pretty big. They're enormous. Okay, so let's read the next page. Then we saw a giraffe. A giraffe could get things that are too high for me to reach. I think I need a pet giraffe, I said. But Daddy thought I was wrong. So let's look at the vocabulary word here for hippos. So the vocabulary word is humongous, and that's the same word that's in bold print. So humongous means very, very, very big. Okay, so hippos are humongous. All right, you do not need a wild animal, Daddy said. But I could tame it, I said. Daddy still thought I was wrong. Come on, he said. It's time to go home. So there she is over here with her daddy, and she's looking, it looks like she's looking at the gorillas. So we have a definition, and I'm sorry, the vocabulary wild. So let's look at the definition. So the definition for the word wild is living in nature, not taken care of by humans. So if an animal is wild, that means they do not have a person to take care of it. It does not live with a person, so a person does not feed it. A person does not take it to a vet. So it lives on its own. Okay, so there's animals that live in the wild. Okay, maybe in the forest, maybe in the ocean, maybe in the jungle, in different places. Okay, that they live on their own. Okay, our next word over here, when they're walking out of the zoo on page 9, it says the vocabulary is tame. Vocabulary word is tame. So what does tame mean? She said, the little girl said that she could tame the animals. So tame means that to take an animal from the wild and train it to live with people. Okay, so our next page. Daddy said our house was not a good habitat for a lion or a zebra or a giraffe. I was sad. Then we saw some dogs and cats that needed homes. Look, Daddy, I said. Well, what do you know? He replied. Hello, I think I need a pet, I said. How about this little puppy? Asked the lady. We found him on the street. He's been to the veterinarian and he's very healthy. So we have a vocabulary word for each page. So let's check out the first one on page 10. That vocabulary word is habitat. What is a habitat? So a habitat is a place where a plant or animal normally lives and grows. Okay, so for example, if there's a big whale out in the wild, its habitat would be the ocean. That's where it lives and grows on its own. Okay, so our next vocabulary word on page 11 is veterinarian. What is a veterinarian? Well, a veterinarian is a doctor who takes care of animals. Okay, let's go and move right along to our next page. And remember, boys and girls, that our vocabulary words are going to be in bold print. Remember, that's a text feature that we learned about. When they're darker, that means it's bold print. He has no one to take care of him, I told Daddy. I don't need all those other animals, but this one needs me. And guess what? Daddy thought I was right. So Daddy let her have the pet. Okay, boys and girls, so now we have our vocabulary meaning match, and we're going to review the vocabulary words that we learned throughout our story, and we are going to match them with the words within the word chest. Okay, so let's check and see what words are in the word chest. We have veterinarian, fierce, tame, gallop, habitat, humongous, wild, and trunk. Okay, so now we're going to look at the meanings or the definitions for each word, and we're going to match them. The long nose of an elephant is number one. What do we call the long nose of an elephant? Who remembers? Very good. It's called the trunk. So I am going to put a number 1 right by the word trunk because we already used it for number 1. And I'll put a check mark right there so we know that one is done. Okay, so for number 2, living in nature, not taken care of by humans. So when animals live in nature and nobody feeds them, nobody takes them to the vet, what are they called? Very good. They are wild animals. Okay, so that is number 2. Okay, number 3. The place where a plant or animal normally lives. So what is that? What is that called? What is the vocabulary word where a plant or an animal normally lives? Very good. That is its habitat. So I'm going to put a number 3 right there and check that one off because it's done. And the next word, and I know that all of you know this answer before I even read it, that a doctor who takes care of animals. That's right. That is a veterinarian. And we usually call them vets, boys and girls, for short because it's such a long, fancy word. So we usually call them vets, but the proper name or the whole word is veterinarian. Okay? And I know that a lot of you, when I've asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? A lot of you choose, I want to be a vet because it's so much fun to work with animals, boys and girls, and to take care of animals. Okay, so our next word, our next definition, to take an animal from the wild and train it. If we take an animal from the wild and train it, what do we do, boys and girls? Very good. We tame the animal. So I am going to put a number 5 right there. Okay. Next one. Strong and dangerous. Something that is strong and dangerous. Remember, that was the lion. The lion was strong and dangerous. So that means that it is fierce. Very good. All right. Next definition. Very, very, very big. Something that's very, very, very big. We saw that vocabulary word within a story when we saw the hippos, boys and girls. They referred to the hippos as very, very, very big. Very good. That is humongous. That means humongous. Okay. Next word, next definition. Okay, which is our last one. To run very fast. Okay, remember the little girl wanted the zebra to take her to school? So the zebra was going to do what when it took the little girl to school? Very good. It was going to gallop. There we go. So we have all of our vocabulary words. We have the meanings for each of the vocabulary words. Let's move right along to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to fill in the sentence. We know what each of our vocabulary words mean. So now we're going to use them in context so we can make a sentence or help a sentence make sense when we fill it with the proper vocabulary word. Okay, so our first one. I wish that I could blank a tiger and turn it into a loving pet. What is that word when we turn it to something that we can keep at home? What is it? We have habitat, humongous, tame, wild, fierce, gallop, veterinarian, and trunk. Very good. It's the word tame. Tame. That means when we make our animals friendly and they can be with us or they can be our pet. Okay, number 2. I was so hungry that I ate a blank bowl of spaghetti all by myself. So they were very hungry. So they ate a what? Something big. Very good. That is humongous. Just like the hippos, right? They are humongous. And that's a very long and fancy word, boys and girls. Okay, so instead of using very big, we can use that word. We can say humongous. All right, number 3. The horse ran faster and faster until it began to what? Remember the zebra that was going to take the little girl to school? It was going to, very good, gallop. So we are going to fill in that word in that blank. So the horse ran faster and faster until it began to gallop. All right, number 4. The desert is a natural blank for many snakes and lizards. The desert is a natural blank for many snakes and lizards. That's where the snakes and the lizards live. Yes, it's their habitat. Okay, we've been learning about that in science. Okay, it's their habitat where the animals and the plants live. All right, number 5. An elephant can pick up peanuts with its, what do we call the elephant's nose, boys and girls? What do we call it? Very good, it's their trunk. Okay, it's the elephant's trunk. Okay, so we don't say elephant's nose, we say elephant's trunk. All right, number 6. Raccoons, birds, and squirrels are just a few blank animals you may see right in your own backyard. Okay, so raccoons, birds, and squirrels are a few blank animals you may see right on your own backyard. And that's a word, boys and girls. Remember that word when the animals live by themselves, that we do not feed them, we do not take them to the vets, and they are not our pets. Very good. They are a few wild animals. So that means they find their own food and they take care of their own selves, right? We do not take them to the vet. We do not feed them. All right, number 7. The blank gives my dog a checkup once a year. That's that big fancy word that some of you want to be when you grow up, right? What is it? Yes, veterinarian. Okay, VETERIN, ANARAN. It doesn't fit. It's such a long word, boys and girls. All right, number 8. The mother bear became blank when she thought her cub was in trouble. Oh, so that what do you think? How do you think a mother would feel, a mother bear, when her cub is in trouble? And it's our last word. Yes, it is fierce. That means it is strong and dangerous because it wants to protect its cubs, right? All right, boys and girls, kiss your brain. Oh, you did such a phenomenal job with those vocabulary words. So now you have new words that you can use in your sentences. You can use when you are speaking with someone. Use those fancy words, boys and girls. All right, let's go to our next activity. And these are vocabulary questions. And these vocabulary questions, boys and girls, I am not going to spend so much time with them because these you are going to do on your own. But I am going to read them to you, and I am going to tell you that when you answer these questions, it's going to be a statement. That means you're going to have a sentence that's a statement. Remember to start your sentence with an uppercase letter. That means it's a big letter, capital letter. And since it's a statement, you are saying something, you are going to use a period at the end. Period at the end, okay? So our first question is, what animals are humongous? Okay, so this is not going to be a sentence. It says make a list. So you're going to make a list of all the animals that are humongous. We already have 2 that you know of. Remember we had hippopotamus that was in our story. And the other one, you see a picture on here, it's an elephant. So an elephant is also humongous. Okay, so think of other animals that are humongous. Remember, humongous means very, very, very big. All right, for number 2, what is your favorite wild animal? Okay, so there you will be writing a sentence, okay? We're going to be writing a statement. So remember to start with an uppercase letter and end with a period at the end. So you're not only going to write a sentence, you're going to write 2 sentences for that one, boys and girls, because you have, what is your favorite wild animal? So you're going to tell me in a sentence, my favorite wild animal is, and then you're going to tell me why. Why is that your favorite wild animal? Okay, so that means it's 2 sentences for number 2. All right, for number 3, Why might a person need to take a pet to the veterinarian? So why do people take pets to the veterinarian? Okay, so write me a sentence and answer that question with a statement. Alrighty, boys and girls, we're going to move right along to our next activity. And we have a game to play. All right, so if you want to play right along with me and you want to write these sight words down because it's going to be really fun, I want you to go get a piece of paper right now. Okay, and you can also cross them out on your, well, you probably won't be crossing them out, but you can write them, okay? And this time, boys and girls, if you have been watching all of the videos that we have been sharing with you, we had sight words that were 3 letters. Okay, so guess what, boys and girls? Your brains have been growing and you have been learning so much. And now you are going to be working with vocabulary words that are sight words that are 4 letters, okay? You are just super, super smart. We have to challenge you a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to look for the sight word that's in red that matches with the letters that are all scrambled up. That means that they're not in order. They do not make sense, and it's not a word when it's like that. It's just a lot of letters that are all mixed up together. But we want to put them in their spots, and we want to make a sight word with it, okay? So that's the game that we will be playing. So let's see if you can figure it out before I give you the answer, okay? So let's get started. So the first one has a O, a D, a S, and an E. This one doesn't have any of those letters, and the second one doesn't either. I see a O, but I don't see a D there. I don't see an O here. No O's here. Oh, this one has an O, and it has the D, it has the S, and it has the E. So I am going to circle them. And when I am looking for my sight words, boys and girls, I am looking at the red words at the bottom. So there's 2 rows at the bottom that I am going to choose from to see if I can figure out all those mixed up letters on the 2 top rows, okay? So what I'm going to do is I found that word, that sight word that has all the letters that are mixed up in the first group of letters. So I am going to write it correctly. So the first letter is a D. Okay, then I see it's an O. And I'm crossing the letters as I go just to make sure that that is a sight word that belongs there. Okay, then I have an E. And last, there's an S. So what sight word is that? Very good. It's the sight word does. Does. Okay, let's look for the next one. TBHO. There's no T here, no T here, no T here, no T here. Well, there's a T here and there's also a B, but there is no H or O. I do not see a T here, no T here. Oh, there's a T there, there's a B, and there's an H, and there's an O. So I think it's this one, so I am going to circle that one. Then I'm going to spell it correctly. The first one I have is a B. Then I have an O. Then I have a T. And then I have an H. What sight word is that, boys and girls? Very good. It's the sight word both. Both. All right, so let's go to the next one. I have a E, V, A, G. There's a E here. I don't see a V. There's a E here. There's a V. Oh, no A's. There's no E. There's a E here. No V's. Not here. There's a E here. No V. Well, this one has a E, has a V, a A, and a G. So I think it's this word. So I'm going to spell it correctly. G. Then I have the A. Then I have a V. And finally, I have a E. What sight word is that? Great job. It's gave. Gave. All right, so let's look at our next group of letters here that are all mixed up together. We have a E, B, N, E. Okay, so we have a E here. We have a B here, and we have another E because that group of letters has 2 E's and then it has an N. So I think it's this one. Let's check and see. Okay, so the first letter is a B. I'm going to cross it out. And then it's two E's. So I'm going to cross both of the E's out. And then I have an N. What word is that? Very good. It's the word Ben. Okay, next one. I have a L, D, O, C. Okay, no L here. No L here. Here's an L, but I do not see a D. No L here. Oh, here's a L. Here's a D. Here's an O and a C. So I think it's this one. All right, so I am going to spell, whoops. Let's go back to our page here, our slide. There we go. And we're going to write the word. And the first letter is a C. I'm going to cross it off. And then we have an O, cross that one off. Then we have an L, cross that one off. And finally we have a D. So what sight word is that? Excellent. It's the sight word cold. All right, so now we're going to the next row. Okay, next row of the words that are all mixed up together, boys and girls. So the first one is a TFSA. TFSA. This one does not have a T. No T here, no T here. There's a T here, but I do not see an F. So let's go to this one, TFSA. There we go. I'm going to circle that word, and I'm going to write it in order how it should be. First word is an F. Then we have an A. Then we have an S. And finally, we have a T. And that is our sight word. What is it, boys and girls? Excellent. Fast. Fast. All right. Next word, next letters that are mixed up is a E, S, O, G. There's an E here, but there's no S. Okay, here's an E, S, O, and G. So I think it might be that sight word. So the first letter is a G. Cross it out. Then we have an O. Cross it out. Then we have an E. Cross it out. And finally, we have an S. Cross it out. So what sight word is that, boys and girls? Excellent. It's the word goes. Goes. Okay. Our next word, or our next group of letters, ETBS. Okay, there's an E, no T, none of those letters here. Okay, let's see. We have an E, we have a T, we have a B, and we have an S. So I am going to circle that sight word, and I am going to spell it here, write it correctly. B, E, S, and T. What sight word is that? Very good. It is best. Best. Okay. Next one. V-I-F-E. Okay, here's a V, here's an I, a F, and an E. It was the first one, boys and girls. All right, so let's spell it correctly. I'm going to circle it. First, we have an F. Then we have an I. Then we have a V. And finally, we have an E. What sight word is that? Excellent. 5. 5. All right. The last one. Okay. C, A, L, and L. What sight word is that, boys and girls? Our last one. Call. Call. Excellent. Kiss your brain. Oh, that brain has been working so hard, boys and girls. And you know what, boys and girls? It's a good thing that you're working on your sight words. And I know they're getting a little bit harder, but guess what, boys and girls? That means that you're getting smarter every time you practice. We get better and better at it, okay? So the more we practice, the more we're going to learn and the better we're going to get. So when you write your sentences, boys and girls, you're already going to know how to spell these words because you've been practicing them. All right, so let's move right along. Okay, so it's math time with Mrs. Maldonado. So let's get started. Okay, so for math, we're going to count and write the number. Okay, so remember that when we see straight lines like that, blocks that are in line like that, that means that they're in groups of 10. But just to be on the safe side, boys and girls, we're going to count, okay? We're going to count just one, and we know the other one is going to be a 10 if the first one is a 10, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 and 10. That makes what? Very good. So we have 20. So we have 20 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 plus 4. Okay, so we're going to draw a number line. Remember, for it to be an efficient strategy, when we use a number line, we have to start with a greater number. We're going to be adding. Okay, so we're going to start with 20, and we're going to move how many jumps? Yes, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and that's going to be our answer. So what comes after 20? 21, 22, 23, and 24. So our answer is 24. 24. All right, let's go to our next one. Okay, we're going to count and write the number again. So we're going to count by tens. So I need your help, boys and girls. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So we have 50 tens. Okay, so 5 tens, not 50 tens. We have 5 tens that equal 50. Plus, let's see how many ones we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 50 plus 7. Remember, we want our number line starting with 50. How many jumps? Yes, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we're going to count on. That means we're going to count from 50. What comes after 50? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, and 57. So our answer is 57. Okay, very good. All right, so if you want to follow along with me, boys and girls, and if you want to do your write your number lines, draw your number lines or your equations or count by tens, you can do that with me as well on your piece of paper, and you have something to write with, a pencil or something. All right, so again, let's count by tens. Remember the green groups of our groups of 10, okay? So we're going to count by 10. 10 and 20. Okay, so we have 20 plus, because we're combining them, we are adding. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 20 plus 9 equals, we're going to draw a number line. Okay, we're going to start with 20 because 20 is the greater number. And we're going to move forward 9 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right here, boys and girls. So what comes after 20? We have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. So what is our answer? That's right, 29. 2 tens and 9 ones equals 29. Okay, let's go to our next one. Again, the green ones, we're counting by tens. They're groups of 10. 10, 20, 30, and 40. Now let's count our ones. 1 and 2. So we have 40 plus 2, because we are going to combine the tens and the ones. Remember, we have to start our number line with the greater number. Okay, we don't start our number lines with 1 all the time. Okay, not unless 1 is part of the problem, okay, that we are solving. But otherwise, we start with the greater number to make it easier for us and for it to be an efficient strategy. Okay, All right, so we are going to move how many jumps forward? Very good. 2. 1, 2. And I'm going to put a close circle right there because that's where we're stopping. And that's what our answer is going to be. So what comes after 40? 41 and 42. So our answer is 42. Okay? It's the same thing, boys and girls, as if you were counting on. The only thing is that I'm showing you with a number line because I know we need practice with our number lines a little bit. So um, that's why I'm using the number line and also the equation. I know that you could probably look at the number, oh, well, it's 40, and we're going to count what comes after 40, 41, 42. But sometimes you have to show your work. And if you're not able to show your work, boys and girls, then you might have the answer wrong. So that's why I'm doing this for you, okay? So I'm writing your equation and I'm drawing a number line for you so you can follow along how I'm solving the problem. All right, so let's move to the next one. All right, so remember the green ones are groups of 10. So we're going to be counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So that means we have 7 tens. So 70 plus, all right, so let's count our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's 7 ones. 70 plus 7 equals, so let's draw our number line. We're going to start with 70 here, and we're going to be moving how many steps forward? How many spaces or jumps? Yes, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to put my close circle there because that's where I'm stopping. That's where my answer is going to be. So what comes after 70? Yes, we have 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, and 77, boys and girls. So our answer is 77. And also, boys and girls, another thing that I wanted to tell you that you'll probably be doing in second grade, and it's good to get used to using your number lines, is that when you are using the number lines, you can also count by twos, you can count by fives, you can count by tens. So instead of doing jumps by ones, you're going to learn how to do jumps by fives and by tens and by twos and by other numbers, okay? So it's important to practice using your number line now. All right, so now we're going to draw and write the number. Okay, so before it had the pictures, now we have to draw them. Okay, so we have to draw our tens and our ones, but I know you got this. Okay, so are you ready? Get your paper and your piece of and your pencil or your whatever you're using to write. Okay, so we have, what I am going to do is I'm going to draw my T-chart. Okay, and I know that I have 5 here because these are my tens, and I have 8 here. These are my ones. Okay, so I am going to draw 5 tens. And remember, the tens is just a simple line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5 is always diagonal. That's just easier to count. Instead of counting, say maybe you had 12 tens or however many 9 tens, you can count 5 and then you can count on. It's just easier for you to count that way. So when you have 5, go ahead and put a diagonal on the 4, okay? Just like I did. All right, so for the ones, we have 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we drew the number. Now we have to write the number. Okay, so that means that we have to count what we just drew. Okay, so we're going to count by tens. 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, and 58. So our number is 58. Remember that after we move from tens to ones, we have to switch, okay? Remember, we switch. We don't keep counting by tens. We have to switch and count by ones, okay? All right, let's go to the next one, and I'll remind you to switch, okay? So we have to draw. First, we're going to draw. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. We have 3 tens and 2 ones. Okay, so I am going to draw my tens, which is our straight lines. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 tens, and now there are 2 ones. Okay, so we're going to count, okay, because we have to write the number. Okay, and remember to switch when we switch over to ones. Okay, and I'll remind you. 10, 20, 30, switch, 31, 32. So our number is 32. And if you could see, boys and girls, you could actually see the number right there. We see our 3 and we see our 2. Okay? So it's just the drawing is just helping us visualize or to see and make that connection of how the tens and the ones work. Okay, so we're going to draw and write the number again. Okay, so go ahead and draw your T-chart. We have 8 and tens. We have 5 and ones. Okay, so we're going to use the diagonal tally now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, number 5 is diagonal. Okay, on top of the 4. Make sure you get all 4 of them. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so let's count them so we can write the number. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Switch, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So our number is 85. So we drew it and we wrote it. Okay, 85. All right, so let's go to our next one. We're going to draw and write the number. Okay, first we're going to draw. So we have our tens T-chart there. Okay, we have 4 tens and we have 8 ones. Okay, so we're going to draw our tens first, which are straight lines. And how many are we drawing? That's right, we're drawing 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many ones? You're right, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so let's count, boys and girls, so we can write the number. And don't forget to switch, okay? Because sometimes we forget to switch and we keep counting by tens. All right, and that happens. That would happen when we get used to counting by tens, and then, oh, we forget that we have to switch to ones. All right, so let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, switch, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48. So what's our answer? Yes, it is 48. 48 is our answer. All right, boys and girls, let's go to the next one. We're going to draw and write the number. Okay, so we have 2 tens and we have 6 ones. So we're going to draw the tens first. 1, 2, and now we're going to draw the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we drew them. Now we have to count them so we can write our number, okay? So remember our tens first. 10, 20, switch, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So our number is 26. Okay? So remember, when we are counting first the tens, then we switch and count by ones. All right, boys and girls, so now it is your turn to log into MobyMax. Okay, your first step is going to be to go to this website, www.mobymax.com. And then you're going to click on this orange sign-in tab. Okay, so you're going to click on that. And step 2, you're going to get this screen at the bottom. Okay, make sure that you're in as a student, because if you're not, it's not going to work for you. Okay, and then you are going to enter Guadalupe Center in the school name box. Okay, so type in Guadalupe Center. Maybe you can have an adult to help you, or maybe you can have an adult write it for you and just have it somewhere, so when you are going into MobyMax, you already have the whole spelling of Guadalupe Center, because it's a long word, boys and girls. Actually, it's 2 words, Guadalupe and Center. Don't forget to leave a space in between Guadalupe and Center, just 1 space. Okay, and then you're going to click Find. Okay, click this green Find box, and then you are going to see that Guadalupe comes up. You're going to see Guadalupe Center under School. You're going to click on that. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to step number 3. So step number 3, boys and girls, you have to make sure again, because you're going to a different page, you need to make sure that you are in as a student again, okay? So right here, when you sign in, make sure you're in as a student, okay? And for your username and password, you are going to put in your lunch number, okay? Your student number, okay? Put those in. The same thing for username, the same thing for password, the same one. Okay, lunch number for username, lunch number for password. Okay, after you, and another thing, boys and girls, make sure that it says Guadalupe Center up here for your school. Okay, you have to make sure that you are on Guadalupe Center. Once you have that, you can click on the sign-in box at the bottom, and then you will be going to step number 4. Okay, for step number 4, you will see student name at the top right corner, okay, which is this here. You don't see a student name here because I just took a picture, a little picture for you, just to show you what it looks like. But I didn't put a name on there. So you will see your name here at the top, right here where the cursor is moving. So make sure that you have your name on there, because you want to make sure that it's you doing your work, okay? That you're not doing the work for someone else. So if it doesn't have your name, boys and girls, just log out and try again with your lunch number, okay? But if you have your lunch number, then you are ready to get started with your math lesson. So you are going to click on this green math box. So click on that green math box, and once you click on that, you will be ready to start your lesson. Remember that everyone's lesson will be different. So just because I did a lesson on the tens and ones doesn't mean that you're also going to have a lesson on tens and ones. Everybody's lessons are different. Either you might have already done that lesson, or you are going to be doing that lesson. So if you are going to do that lesson, you already have some idea of how to do that, okay? And if you already did that lesson, well, it will be a good review for you. All right, boys and girls, so go ahead and get started with your MobyMax lesson. And boys and girls, remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and stay smart. Until next time.